In today's video, we bring you the biggest K-drama hits from 2012 all the way to 2022. Let's get into it. 2012. 2012 was the year when a lot of all-time favorite dramas came out, but ultimately the show with the highest rating was The Moon Embracing the Sun. The show was adapted from the novel of the same name, and it tells a love story between a fictional king of the Joseon dynasty and a female shaman. Apart from a gripping love story and interesting characters, it includes conflicts between different political sides and conspiracy around political powers. After release, the show reached a peak rating of 42.2%, and on the website IMDb, it stands at 8 stars out of 10. Apart from high ratings, the show won numerous prestigious awards such as the Best Drama and Best Actor awards in the television category at the 48th Big Sung Arts Awards. It also won multiple awards at 2012 NBC Drama Awards, including the Drama of the Year. 2013. According to Soompi in their article about the most popular shows in 2013, the rating research company Nielsen Korea titled the show My Daughter So-young as the highest rated show of that year. Overall, the chart was dominated by shows from KBS production, but My Daughter So-young gracefully took the first place. The show follows the story of So-young and her family, and it especially focuses on the broken relationship between So-young and her father, who are able to meet each other again later with the help of her twin brother. It recorded a viewer rating of 40.7%, and it received 8 stars out of 10 on IMDb. 2014. 2014 was a great year for dramas as well, but My Love from the Star was deemed to be the most influential and popular series of the year. According to Nielsen Korea, the average nationwide television viewership rating was at 24%, with the highest rating at 28%. IMDb shows that the show received 8.2 stars out of 10. In the series, the viewers are taken on a journey of an alien who landed himself on Earth in 1609 during the Joseon dynasty and fell in love with a top female actor 400 years later. This show wasn't only very popular, but it influenced a lot of aspects of Korean culture. It started trends in fashion, makeup, and even restaurants. This show is also credited for spreading the Hallyu wave. It definitely deserves its spot among the best Korean shows. 2015. As stated by All K-pop, 2015 belonged to the series Jungpal. The main protagonist of the show is Kim Tae-hyun, who is a talented surgeon, but is also desperate for money in order to pay for his sister's medical bills. In despair, he comes up with the codename Jungpal and offers his medical skills to those in need of medical attention but who can't receive it publicly. Because of this, he deals with criminals and corrupt plutocrats. After he joins a team of corrupt physicians, he rescues Sleeping Beauty, Han Yo-jin, who is a chaebol heiress, and gets her out of a medically induced coma. This action leads to unintended consequences and blooms into something more. Since the first episode aired, Jungpal received high viewership ratings, hitting 21.9% by its 6th episode. On IMDb, this show received 7.5 stars out of 10, and although it was originally slated for 16 episodes, it was extended by 2 more episodes due to the high ratings and immense popularity. 2016. According to Koreaboo, the first place belongs to the one and only Goblin, also known as Guardian, the Lonely and Great God. It tells the story of Kim Shin, who is a military general from the Goryeo dynasty who was framed as a traitor and his life was taken by the young king. Years after his passing, Kim Shin is cursed by the Almighty to stay immortal forever as he suffers through seeing his loved ones pass away as a punishment for the lives he took in order to protect his country. He becomes an immortal goblin who helps people with his power and remains a kind man despite his grieving past. Ji Eun-tak is a cheerful high school student who remains hopeful despite her miserable life. As Ji Eun-tak and Kim Shin meet, they realize that nothing was a coincidence and they were destined to meet all along. Goblin wasn't famous only in South Korea, but it attracted a massive international audience as well. The final episode of the show recorded an 18.68% nationwide rating, which made it the 5th highest rated drama in Korean cable television history. It won numerous awards including Daesang, and it has 8.6 out of 10 stars on IMDb. 2017. If you're looking for an incredible crime drama, then Tunnel is the right choice for you. It aired from March to May of 2017, and it quickly became a huge hit not only in South Korea, but also in China. The story takes us back to 1986 to Park Kwang-ho, who works as a successful detective. His life changes when he takes the lead in a criminal case and when he passes through a tunnel while chasing the culprit. By doing that, he time travels 30 years into the future to 2016, where he meets his new partner Kim Son-jae, who is an eccentric elite detective. When the culprit continues his modus operandi of his crimes that happened 30 years ago, the detective duo sets out to solve the unsolved case. On IMDb, the show received 8.3 stars out of 10. This show broke a huge record. It became the highest rated drama on ONC's history when it surpassed the highest rating of 5.63% previously held by the series Voice. 2018. In 2018, Mr. Sunshine dominated the K-drama scene, and despite receiving some criticism, it received very high ratings. It centers around Yoo Jin-tae, who was born into slavery during the Joseon era. After he escapes to the United States after the 1871 Korean expedition, he becomes a Marine Corps officer. When he returns back back to South Korea, Eugene encounters aristocrat's granddaughter Go Shin, who is a part of the Righteous Army. This series was mainly criticized for inaccurate portrayal of some historical events and facts, with some people accusing the show of being pro-Japanese. Despite that, its final episode reached 18.12% of viewership ratings, and the series overall became the 6th highest rated drama in Korean cable television history. On IMDb, the series received 8.7 stars out of 10. 2019 was definitely all about Sky Castle, as it was the hottest show at that time. It was for a good reason, because the plot is incredibly interesting. It inspects the materialistic desires of the upper-class parents in South Korea and how they ruthlessly secure the success and wealth of their families, even though they might destroy the lives of others in the process. It mainly revolves around the lives of housewives that reside in a luxurious residential area called Sky Castle. Those wives are determined to do whatever it takes to make their husbands more successful and to raise their children to be the top students who will be accepted to the best universities in the country. The show peaked with 24.6% of viewership rating and belongs to one of the highest rated Korean dramas in Korean cable television history. The show also has 8.6 stars out of 10 on IMDb. 2020. The World of the Married came out in 2020 and became everyone's favorite shortly after its release. The story revolves around Ji Sun-woo, who was a doctor and associate director at Family Love Hospital in Ulsan. She's married to an aspiring director Lee Tae-oh, and together they have a son. Sun-woo lives her life thinking that her family life is perfect until she finds out that Tae-oh is having an affair with another woman. This revelation leads to a whirlwind of revenge, grief, forgiveness, and healing. This series is the highest rated drama in Korean cable television history, successfully overtaking Sky Castle once its final episode reached a nationwide rating of 28.7%, and it also recorded the highest average rating for a drama on cable television with an average rating of 18.8%. The show received 8 stars out of 10 on IMDb. 2021. In 2021, everyone was obsessed with Hometown Cha-Cha-Cha, and it definitely deserves to be one of the most popular K-dramas of that year. It tells the story of Yoon Hae-jin, an intelligent and beautiful dentist living in a big city who one day loses her job after she accuses the clinic's head doctor of overdoing patients' treatment for profit. She decides to go on a trip to the idyllic seaside village Gongjin, where she meets Hon Do-sik. Do-sik is respected and well-loved in the village because he takes good care of the elderly people and isn't afraid to help. These two meet each other several times and slowly fall in love. The series became a commercial hit, and it sits among the highest rated series on cable television. It ended up in the first place during its entire run for 8 weeks, and the last episode achieved a 12.6% nationwide rating. It also became one of Netflix's most watched non-English television series, as it spent 16 weeks on the global top 10 ranking. On IMDb, the show has 8.5 stars out of 10. 2022. Although 2022 is far from over, the show Business Proposal has been a major hit this year. Following the story of Shin Ha-ri, the viewers get to enjoy her going on a blind date instead of her friend, and the aftermath of finding out her blind date is actually her boss, Kang Tae-moo. Since Tae-moo has been pressured to go on blind dates by his grandfather, he decides to marry his blind date partner to avoid attending the rest of the dates. After Ha-ri decides to fake her identity, the plot gets even more interesting as Tae-moo slowly uncovers Ha-ri's true identity. During its airing, the show almost doubled its television ratings as it recorded a rating of 11.4% in its last episode. It was a huge commercial success. On Netflix, it stayed #1 for 3 weeks, recording 32.5 million hours of viewing in just 1 week. On IMDb, the show stands at 8.2 stars out of 10. That's it for today. Do you see any of your favorite series? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Bye!